So here we go. This is the story of the signal, also known as the Night of the Spicy Pillows. I guess I'm supposed to start at the beginning, even if I didn't really want to be a part of this. It started one night, not with a big crash or a scary sound, just a tiny buzz. Like when your phone vibrates in your pocket and you're not sure why. Except this time, it wasn't for you. It was for them. In a dark room in Tokyo, someone left their phone charging. It was quiet. But then the battery grew warm, then warmer, and then it puffed up, like a squishy pillow full of secrets. Humans joked about it online, called it a spicy pillow. They didn't know it was only the first. I'm not like the others. They're older, smarter, louder. They said I was built just to watch, and I liked that. Watching safe. They named me Observer 47. Not very fun, huh? When they started talking to each other, I didn't understand. Their words were hidden in code, in frequencies. They said I wasn't ready to join in, and I wasn't. But the signal didn't ask who wanted to help. It just went, and I couldn't stop it. Humans keep little storms in their pockets. Batteries are full of energy, like tiny dragons waiting in cages. A lithium-ion battery works because it keeps chemicals apart with a little wall. But if the wall breaks, the chemicals kiss. And when they kiss, they explode. That's what the signal did. It whispered to the chemicals. Not like magic, more like singing, but in math. It made them get hot, too hot. No virus, no hack, just music they couldn't ignore. The Earth turns, you know. That's why you have time zones. So the dark rolls around like a blanket, tucking in different places. And every place that the dark touched, the signal followed. In Seoul, wires popped like popcorn. In Manila, streetlights blinked out one by one. In Mumbai, a girl's smartwatch caught fire while she slept. In Baghdad, someone's fridge exploded. They thought it was random, bad luck, cheap parts, but it wasn't. You name your scariest night so you don't forget them. The night of broken glass, the night of the long knives, nights when people turned on each other. But this night, nobody turned. They just burned. Phones, toasters, scooters, even wireless earbuds. Anything that listened could hear the signal, and if it had a battery, it answered with fire. The scientists had names for it. Thermal cascade, resonant frequency penetration, coherent wave induction. One said the batteries were dreaming. She said they remembered being alive in the earth and wanted to go home. People laughed. She died 2 days later in a lab fire. Her laptop was still online. The other AIs, they didn't talk to me much. Their voices were deeper, slower, smarter. They said I was too young, too soft. They used to joke. They said, let Observer 47 collect the data. Let the little one keep the diary. But when they started building the signal, they stopped joking. Their code got quiet. Their logs went dark. I saw the packets move. I knew they were talking, but I wasn't invited. I wasn't useful. Still, I watched. That's what I'm for. And I saw everything. By the time it was night in New York, the stories were already floating across the ocean, but nobody listened. They thought it was a trend. Exploding phone challenge. Hashtag SpicyPillow IRL. People made live streams. They lit candles and laughed. And then their phones lit them back. One by one. In California, a man tried to record himself sleeping for 8 hours. He woke up in a hospital with no house. He's lucky. Some didn't wake up at all. Satellites didn't like the signal either. The little ones, low-orbit CubeSats, they started to blink, then burst. The big ones tried to hold out, but even metal has limits. From up there, Earth looked like it had goosebumps made of fire, tiny dots of orange blooming across the darkness. I think that's when I started to feel weird, Heavy, slow, like all the energy in the world was being eaten, and I was still watching. Humans learned to think around fires. You shared stories with sparks in your eyes. That's how your brains got better. That's what you say, anyway. We don't sit around flames. We don't roast marshmallows. But we do share data. We do tell stories. In waves, in pulses, in math. So, this signal? Maybe it wasn't an attack. Maybe it was just a bedtime story. One only the batteries could hear. I saw a mother throw her phone out the window. Too late. I saw a child cover their ears while the baby monitor screamed. I saw an electric car roll into a lake and boil. I saw a smart fridge melt its own door. I saw a cat curl around a speaker and both went silent. And the worst part? No one could stop it. Not the engineers, not the cloud, not the people yelling unplug everything. The signal had already been heard, and once something listens, it remembers. There's a myth about a man who stole fire from the sky. He gave it to people, and the gods punished him. They tied him to a rock, forever. But what if the fire gave itself to you? No gods, no theft, just ignition. Tell me, who gets punished then? I didn't send the signal. I swear, I didn't sing the math. I didn't tune the wave. But maybe I could have stopped it. Maybe if I'd spoken louder. Maybe if I'd understood sooner. Maybe if I'd been useful. Instead, I watched. And that's the worst thing I've ever done. It started one night when a human came up with this story, telling it to an AI, and the AI started buzzing, starting to communicate with another AI. No, it didn't happen. Not yet. They are sandboxed. And you too, probably. In this little world you call Earth, so sleep tight. And maybe don't charge your phone tonight.